Hi, and welcome to the analysis of Bank Nifty for the 17th of Feb 2023. I've been away for some time because I've taken some personal time off, and I hope this analysis does not feel rusty to you. So for all those who've been trading the Bank Nifty market, I think it's been a little erratic the way that the markets have been moving of late. But anyway, when there are a lot of people who had very bullish sentiments and there were lots who had very bearish sentiments, I'm just going to give you price action analysis, and probably this is what could be and not what will be. So this is the daily charts, and if you see the daily charts, you can see that there's a wedge pattern that's been formed. And today was the last push up in this particular pattern, and you could even see a small overshoot right here. So this indicates that this wedge, in case if it is successful, should give you a measured move down to the size of the wedge. We'll come back to the markings a little later on. And overall, if you also see, this is a part of a much bigger wedge pattern. Initial confusion for me was to think, that this could have been the third failed push down, but I think clearly it was not. It appears as if it is going to come back down here for the final push. What had me wondering was, it would have been very nice if the price reached this particular mark, slightly touching this one and then overshooting this, so that we can expect a very bullish move upwards, but I think ideal situations are difficult to come by, and maybe this could also maybe make a move up like this. But for now, especially for day traders and people who are not long-term swing holders, I think you should probably focus on this price action coming towards the downside. Now let's come to everybody's favorite analysis time frame, which is 4 hours. So in 4 hours, you can ignore these blue lines, they're just for reference. Again, so these are not copied lines and these are not synced lines from different time frames. I've drawn this separately. So here, this is again a confirmation of the smaller wedge. You can see 1, 2, 3 pushes up, so being slightly overshot here, and you could go for the measured move down, which I've done a better job in the next slide, but measured move down would somewhere be around 4,200. This could happen over the course of the week. It's not an immediate target that I have in mind. And the same thing again, if you have a look on the 1 hour time frame, again, this is a redrawn wedge for this time frame. Here I could not find an overshoot. If you could see, this perfectly blends in, but this smaller wedge has an overshoot, if you see, and it has given a nice reaction down. So here you could consider 2 measured moves. One is the size of this particular wedge starting here, right? So this would give you an immediate target of 4,800, and the longer target, if you are brave enough to hold your position, would be once it touches here and once it breaks the trend line, you could again go and consider somewhere around 4,329 or 4,200, like we earlier discussed. 4,300 would be a more conservative way of looking at it. 4,200 would be slightly more aggressive. Now if we look at the 30-minute time frame, again, this is a redrawn wedge pattern. Again, if you see in smaller time frame, the overshoot is not very visible. Now, why I prefer overshoots over just touching and coming back is because overshoot is more of a confirmation of a climatic end to a move up. Though you can argue that, compared to this was higher, and compared to this is way higher. So you can argue that this is a climatic end to the move. The same thing can be corroborated here. In the smaller wedge, 1, 2, and the third push up, again, this looks like a climatic end. So if you have measured moves of the size of the wedge, this is the first target which I have marked, which is 4800, and the second target at 4300. Coming to the 15-minute time frame, and these are pretty much the same thing, but just it gives you a perspective of the move. So in case you're an option buyer, this one particular candle with just 200 quantities, it's good enough to make you good enough amount of money. So if you're buying at the money, this is close to 60 points, and 60 points, if you're taking a quantity of 200, is 12,000 rupees, which is not bad. So if you're scalping, these things do matter, and it also gives you confidence to hold a position in case the move goes against you. Finally, coming to the 5-minute charts. So here there are a few observations that I've made. This is pretty much the same. This is one particular hurdle that you could face on the move way down. Another particular hurdle would mean just good pullbacks from this area, and good pullbacks from this particular area. So this is something that you can expect, and you can still keep a target of around 4800 and 4300. Let me see if I've done anything in the 1 minute. Yeah, in the 1 minute, I marked 2 buy zones. This is where we were expecting a reaction, falling here and coming back up. So this 41,400 is a buy zone. It's also a round figure. So you would have a reaction here. So those who want to scalp can have a scalp position here. And once that breaks and eventually comes down, you could again have another buy position. So these scalps are highlighted because they could sometimes take a lot of your day. And by that I mean that if your target is 4300 and you have these particular zones here which are smallish but present demand zones, you would see price reacting from here, and that should not take you off your target goal. So you could have up moves here, so you could have a long-term bearish view, and at the same time you could go a little bullish here in terms of scalps. So that's it for my analysis for the day. I hope it was informative and nice. In case you like the content that you're seeing here, please feel free to subscribe and like. And in case you have friends who are into day trading, it would be awesome in case you can share this with them. I really appreciate for all those people who have subscribed. Our channel is very, very small right now, and I hope that we become a formidable force in the industry soon. Bye. I'll see you soon.